The Idaho Digital Learning Alliance is the only online platform that is approved by the State Department of Education for classroom instruction for driver ed. Let's learn a little bit more about the program. IDLA is the only state-funded online public school and was established in 2002. IDLA offers high-quality courses in lots of different areas and works with all Idaho school districts to provide those courses to their students. It improves flexibility for some students and improves access and equity to all sorts of courses regardless of where in the state the student is going to school. Each course is taught by a highly qualified Idaho certified teacher. There are approximately 30,000 enrollments each school year in the IDLA programs, and all of those students are enrolled through their local schools, and the credits are transcribed by their local school. So besides driver education, there are lots of other courses. There are 300 plus courses available. Some are advanced placement, some concurrent enrollment in the higher ed institutions in the state, and many of these courses fill a need where there is not a highly qualified teacher in the district. The driver ed courses are taught by instructors who are certified Idaho teachers. They also have driver ed instructor licenses and have received training in online instruction. So they have earned the same instructor license for driver ed that you are earning in this course. We know that one of the things that makes online courses more successful is lots of communication. So in our driver ed course, the IDLA teacher, the student, and the parents are in close communication throughout the course. There are required communications that are sent out. In week 1, the IDLA teacher makes contact with parents and students. They also typically offer a parent meeting. There are weekly progress reports that go out. There's a detailed midterm grade report and an email at the end of the class with the final grade report. Now, clearly, there are also needs to be additional contacts throughout the course, and so teachers will contact students and parents as needed. Also, the driver ed instructor for IDLA needs to contact the driver ed instructor for the in-car instruction. So there are required communications for the IDLA teacher also. In the second week, they will email or contact by phone the in-car instructor and provide the syllabus and the schedule, and also the role allocation, who does what in the course. In week 4, there will be another contact with a midterm grade update, and then at the end of the course, the IDLA teacher will send a final grade report. This is important because the in-car instructor needs to keep that paperwork in the student's file. And clearly there would be additional contacts throughout the course as needed between the IDLA teacher and the in-car instructor. And that communication goes both ways. The in-car instructors are welcome to contact the IDLA teacher as well. So the driver ed sessions are 6 weeks long. There are 5 units of coursework and a final exam week. The cost for enrollment is $75 per student, and IDLA schedules regular sessions 6 times throughout the year, beginning in mid-July, late August, early October, mid-January, early March, and late April. Students that are going to be working with your program for the in-car instruction could enroll in any of these scheduled sessions as long as they check with the in-car instructors first and be sure that those in-car instructors are going to be available. If a district has a large number of students that they want to have use IDLA for their class sessions, we encourage them to create a custom session. That group of students would be all in one class, and those would be the only students in the class. So the district would determine the dates, enroll the students, and have that custom session for just their students. A custom session is a minimum of $900, and so if there are at least 12 students, it works out to the $75 per student. So the course itself is in the learning management system. There are 5 units, a final exam review and a final exam. The final exam is proctored. The other units are not proctored, and students can work on them at their own pace, with a unit being due each week. So they are required to meet deadlines and they can't really work ahead. Within each unit, there's an introduction, there's a study guide for the unit, and then there are lessons and assignments and quizzes throughout. Most of the content for the lessons comes from the AAA How to Drive online course. Students complete sections and section quizzes and are directed to do so at particular times throughout each unit. They also use the Idaho Driver's Manual as part of their resources. All of the assignments, discussions, quizzes, and tests count toward 80% of their overall course grade, and then there is a proctored final exam that counts 20% of their overall grade. Driver Ed classroom instruction can be offered in a district with only face-to-face classes and not using the IDLA classes at all. Some districts choose to offer both face-to-face and online classroom options, and some districts use all online classes. And just a reminder, if your district chooses to use an online class, the IDLA class is the only one that's approved by the State Department of Education. Why would you want to offer an online classroom option? One reason may be because you only have a limited number of instructors and they need to spend their time in the car with students. So IDLA could provide the classroom instructor. Also, you may have students who need to work around extracurricular schedules. Those students might not be able to schedule to come to class at a regular time outside of school hours, so that may work well for them to do the online class. And also for some students, the learning style just fits with online instruction, where they can work at their own pace and aren't in a classroom with other students. So if you did choose to use IDLA for classroom instruction, the IDLA teacher will provide the classroom instruction. The in-car instructor, of course, will provide the 6 hours behind the wheel and observation time. The students would need to let the DMV know that they will be using you as an in-car instructor, and then the DMV will send the permit to your program. The in-car instructor then holds on to the permits and has them in the vehicle when the student is driving. The in-car instructor is also going to be sending the student list to the State Department of Ed and the DMV at the end of the course. The IDLA teacher will send a final grade report to the in-car instructor to include the grade that the student earned. And then the in-car instructor will send the student list to the DMV when the course is complete. So, how do you make this work for your district if you choose to? First, you have to recognize that online is not for everyone. Students who are not motivated or have trouble with time management are not going to do very well. They may also need to have support either at home or at the school. And also, this is so important, they have to have reliable internet access. Please don't sign up students who don't have internet access at home to take a class that they're doing outside of school hours. It's going to be very, very difficult for them to get their work done. Every district in the state has a designated IDLA site coordinator. A lot of times this is the counselor at the school. Anyone who wants to be designated as a site coordinator can be. And so if you're going to have the IDLA program as part of your regular district program, we encourage you to designate an IDLA site coordinator for driver ed. This would be a driver ed teacher who's going to be following up with students. So they would register the students, they would receive the grade updates each week, they'd receive final grade reports, and they also are a point of contact for the online instructor. It's very helpful to have a site coordinator that's dedicated to driver ed. Custom sessions will make your online experience go much more smoothly. If you have a group of students who are going to be doing the class online, set up your own custom session, set your own course dates. All of those students will be in one class with one teacher, and that will make it go much more smoothly. And we encourage you to create a partnership between the in-car and the classroom instructor. IDLA instructors are required to make several communications with the in-car instructor, but The in-car instructor is more than welcome to also contact the classroom instructor anytime they have questions about a student's progress or what they're learning. If you want to be sure that your students are staying caught up in the online class and that they have at least an 80% grade in the class, then you could require them to show you their student grade update before a drive. This is a great motivator for students because they all want to be behind the wheel, and if you require that they be caught up in the classroom as well, then that will help motivate them to get online and get their work done. The IDLA website has resources that are helpful. Under the courses menu, the driver education page has information about the course and how it works. If you want to request a custom session or become a site coordinator, there's a site coordinator tab where you can get that information.